hospital in Thailand, located in Bangkok and empowered by Faculty of Medicine, Chulalongkorn University. So the capacity of the hospital is about 1,500 beds with 3,500 staff, which is quite big. But the problem about this hospital is some of the medical reports, for example, like first-time patients, like to fill the questionnaires, is still paper-based. So it might be good in terms of how you can handle, or it's easy to carry on, but somehow it's quite hard about the data error or incompleteness, or even some data analysis, which is not convenient because it's all paper-based. So as we are information and communication engineering students, we try to come up with solutions about this problem, which is trying to implement this paper-based form into mobile application, which could reduce the number of staff working on this part, and then also reduce the time and reduce some natural resource that you're using in this process. Okay, so these are the required knowledge that we need so far. So the first thing is about Java.
So these are the required knowledge in order to accomplish the project. First is Java programming language. We use Java to code for the functional on the application and XML for the layout. And next is know-how for Parse SDK, which is cloud-based database service, and the application domain on gastrointestinal tract disease in order to effectively collect and analyze data and represent it to the doctor. Next is Android UI design and object-oriented techniques. We require object-oriented techniques because in case that any change requirements, we can easily track and edit the code and project management. So next is the research papers. First is the Android UI interface development. The idea I get from this paper are that Android is mobile application, so users use finger to tap and choose the functions, and mobile has a limited screen size, so they have to enable and disable all the use or unused functions. And as an application, people use an application on some specific purpose, and not all the time, not unlike web application.
So the next part is about research and development of mobile application for Android platform. So as the past thing is more about technical, this one is more about commercial and how to do business with some Android applications. So the topic in the research paper is about market of commercial Android applications. Also with some Android system, a little bit part of technical, which is architecture in each layer of it. And in the last part of the paper, it shows some experimental method. So it's about how to implement the real Android applications architecture in the real life, or even the logic diagram or architecture in flowchart. And the next thing is cloud computing. As we are considering use some database that is not require a physical server. So we do some research about cloud computing, and what we get so far is about overview of the cloud computing, also with the architecture, layer model, and also how to, I would say, corporate business model to be compatible with cloud computing. Okay, so, all right, so the methodology.
So the software development lifecycle we use on this project are there to SDLV, which are adaptive waterfall model and prototype model. We use the adaptive waterfall model for the whole period length, and we use prototype model iteratively during last 3 steps of adaptive waterfall model, like after we implement the code. And on the technical approach, there are So two approaches. We can divide it into focus into two things, which are programming language and developing tools. On the developing application, we use Android Studio 1.4.1 and the programming language are Java for basic control and events and XML for layout and everything else which is not functions. And next thing is Parse Cloud SDK for Android, which are the free cloud database service. The environment, the development environment. On the hardware requirements, we recommend the minimum hardware for quad-core CPU, 2 GB RAM and 16 GB memory, and for software requirements, the recommend versions of OS is Marshmallow 6.0, but the minimum requirements is only KitKat 4.4.2. On the product scope, this is the functional requirements and non-functional requirements, which we gathered and discussed with the doctor. So the application can create account, let the patient create account, log in, add their personal information and their health behavior information, and they can do what they previously submit, like on both health and personal information, and they can also edit the information. And for non-functional requirements, it only requires user-friendly interface.
So as we can summarize, these are the product scope that we can do. So the first part is what in the product scope, so which is the patient side. So it's Android application with full functionality, which works on Android device. While the hospital staff side, it's I would say that it's additional outcome that we implement to be more than the scope. So these are only the UI design prototype that can be implemented further than what we have in the first part. So in the hospital staff side, we include a dashboard, individual patient report, and also a web base. And as I mentioned before in research paper, that we consider some cloud database service. So we decided to use Parse SDK as it is cloud-based and free of charge, and it provides some, I would say, back-end service that you don't have to do all the back-end work for the mobile application. And these are the diagram of the product scope, which things these are in the Android application, Android Studio. So we can divide into activities, and each fragment work on each part of the function. And these are ER diagram on Parse SDK. This is all the entity relation diagram of what each object that we have. So, for example, we have the users, and the user has some health info, medicine, drink behavior, and food and stuff. So these are linked into the database of this application. And about the project scope, there are 4 things that we consider, which the first thing is about product acceptance criteria. So in order to deliver some products and we ensure that it's success, so we make sure that all functional and non-functional requirements that we stated in the scope earlier are already fulfilled and met. And the constraint that we consider is about hardware and software. So sometimes we're just afraid that things will not work out, but we're trying our best to come up with a solution that trying to make it goes on. And also with the time. So at first, there's a risk about improper time management. So what we have to do is prioritize our resource and prioritize our given time into deliver some products. And the last thing is about risk management. So the risk, this part, it's about an ability to deliver product within an assigned schedule. So we come up with a solution in the last part of the project.
And next, the deliverables. In order to finish the application, we need to satisfy all these requirements, the functional requirements, which are, we have to come up with Android mobile application prototype that can be connected to the database, and we must have the quality user interface design, because our users are like wide group of people, like various group of people, and it must be able to fill the basic information on health and profile via Android devices, and the patients must be able to view previously submitted the data on of their own, and the application prototype must minimize users' effort, like on queuing or visiting the hospital, and it only provides front-end items and their functionalities. However, there are still some limitations because this prototype only covers the basic questionnaire of gastrointestinal unit of the hospital, and it requires internet connection in order to connect with the database. We still, since it's out of our scope, so it's unable to connect to the real data of the hospital, and it only provides Thai language. So here's how we work. We divided the structure into 6 parts, which is now on the roll up already. And here's our Gantt chart. So we continue to the outcome. So here's the outcome. This is some snapshot of our UI. We cover almost all the pages we have in the application, and we are going to talk deeper on each page later. So here's the first activity, which contains login and create account. If we choose to create an account for new users, it will come to this page, which require you to input email address and the password, and you can tap on the register in order to sign into the application. So on this activity, there are sign in and create account activities. The mismatched username and password, according to the database, will show there will be an error message shown on the UI. And if the user already logged into the application, as you can see, there is a navigation drawer on the top right corner. If you press it, the drawer will show like this, and if you press and choose any of the tab, it will show the page. Here's the profile. You can view information by tapping that button, and if you tap that button, there will be the change and save button for you to choose there. This is how I use my research paper to adapt with the UI design. The navigation drawer we have there to hide the functions that not in focus due to we have limited space. The icon size, I made it finger friendly, kind of big, so user can mispress it harder. And the questionnaire tab, you can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the upper layer layout. We decided to have each question 1 page or 1 fragment, because if we implement it in 1 page, it will be very long and the user might lose track along the way. But the trade-off of using this kind of each fragment is that it will user will spend more time to swipe between each question, but it's more effective, more efficient.
So these part are the original outcome that we came up so far. So this one is the web-based application for the doctor sites. So what we try to provide right here is how to implement these data we have into visualize the data for the doctor and trying to utilize and be I would say, profitable for symptom diagnosis and analysis for the future. So after applying some user interface lessons, we have come up with some, I would say, the good things about this UI. So the first thing is about a simple and clean layout. So everything is trying to be categorized and trying to put in order to make it, I would say, easy to look. And also the color on the header screen, so it represents about the healthcare applications. It gives you a sense of the hospital application or something like that. And the third is about heuristic, which is about how users can learn to use the application themselves without reading some manuals and stuff. So as you know, these are, I would say, like universal sign of the on the top right. So this one is for account setting menu. And as we have mentioned earlier, we're trying to visualize text data because the first thing it comes from only like a paper base, which you can see on the last page of the report. The first thing is only that thing. So we're trying to visualize data in from a graph, dashboard, or report. And with saying this, it's all about overall report and also individual patient report. So I'm trying to come up with a page that we can search for individual patients. So on the top bar, it's about the menu that you can filter according to, I would say, different specs or different conditions that you want to search, whether it's age, the day that you have checked in, or the name or the last name. So these things you can select the range, or either it could be since then or before or not after. So we're trying to come up with a lot of menus for the future use. And for this part, if you can see the arrow right here, it's about how you can sort or categorize according to each condition. So you can search by name or by last name, or even age, or even the patient ID. Okay, so, and what we're trying to do more, further than the paper base that we used to have so far, is to about the content segmentation, which divides the profile and behavior and split it apart. Because in the first paper base, they're all like sum up together, and sometimes it's very hard to analyze things like that when you don't segment your data. So this is what we do. And also the content measurement. So we try to, okay, as you can see from here, we show only the unit of patient behavior by, I would say, like, take out some unit that is not being used to prevent confusion and error prevention. And also, if you select no, these things are also unable to show, which is about error prevention. So this way, it's easier to analyze and get some accurate data when you disable the data that is surely not be used. Okay, and we come to the last part of the project, which is the benefits and lesson learned. Okay, so the benefit of the project, the first thing is about self-development in Android application. Since we are new here, like we have never touched anything that is related to Android environment before. So this is a big benefit for us. And the next fourth thing is all about the hospital staff and all about in the society. So it's about how to test user experience for future software implementation. And if this application could work or go any further, it would help reduce patient queuing time and number of hospital staff using it. Also, this is a very important part of how we can improve convenient access to information. And the last part is to enhance the quality of symptom analysis, since we have some dashboard and we can use the data that is not in paper-based into the storage and being profitable for the future. And these are the lessons learned after the project has ended. So I divide to main three parts: technical knowledge, domain knowledge, and UI design. So maybe the challenge about the technical knowledge is since we are new, as I said, to Android development, so it requires a lot of high learning curve. So the solution that we would suggest to, I would say, future projects or next time is to study, manage, and prioritize our knowledge resource well. So in order to get things in time. And about the domain knowledge, since we are working for Chulalongkorn Hospital, we need some, I would say, knowledge required regarding the medical or something like that. So the challenge is to how we can provide practical and usable medical information. Yeah, and the solution is to consult with some domain experts.
How about demonstration?
Okay.
So please already.
this is the first page of the application prototype. There are username or email box, the password box, and there are two buttons here, which are the sign in button and sign up button. We decided to make the sign up button less attractive because it's not the main proposed here, but if you are new users, you will click here and this will navigate you to this page. So you will only have to insert your email, your password, and you re-enter your password. Then you press sign up. There are some error prevention, like if you input the email here, and if your password mismatch between the two, you will be unable to sign up like this. So you have to make it match. So after you already sign up, it will directly navigate you to the application with the messages. But now I am going to use the existing one because I want to show the information and how it is. So and if you type the wrong password, it will be wrong. It will be show the error message also. So here is how you log into the application. This is a mock-up page of the application on the home page because this prototype will be integrated to a larger application, so we're not sure that what they want in the main page, like what's the main purpose of the application. So I just add a news feed, which is a mock-up screen from Chula Hospital website. And this is the navigation button, navigation drawer button. So show here, this is the existing account that we already have some data inside here. So as you can see, there are email, the registered email and the name here. So, and this is how it look like when you are not focused or you are not editing it. It will grade out the existing information that you have inputted. This is another data violation prevention that we do not allow users to type their own city of a location in Thailand. And if you are done like editing the information, you just press here the save tab, the save button, and all the information that you have edited in this part we received. Next part is the health information. As you can see, we decided to make it interactive by, if you press it on never smoking, all the layout from word smoking will be disappeared like this. So we will not confuse the user of too much data, too much text. Others page are also the same. We have this kind of disable a lot, and if you want to change, you just press discard and data will be restored to previous setting, and you can sign out of the application.
So this is the additional outcome from the project that is added from the scope, which is the doctor user interface web base for hospital staff. So this is what we're trying to analyze from the paper base that we have, that which data should bring out to do some graph for the dashboard, that to be profitable for the doctors to analyze the symptom or analyze the patient. So we try to implement the UI lessons that we have learned into this one by using the simple and clean layout, and then using the color that represents the healthcare applications, and about the heuristic, that is the account setting on the top right, which is quite universal of any other application, for example like Facebook or other application that using this button as the account setting. And these are the data that it's bring out from the paper base. Normally they don't do the percentage, or they don't calculate this for the doctor, but since that we implement the mobile application, we think that this could be further implemented for the future. And the next part, it's about the visualize text data in from a graph, dashboard, or report. And the first part that we have mentioned earlier, it's about the overall patient information. But what if the doctor wants to search the individual patient? He can go on this one and select the menu that is filtered by the data of the patient. For example, the age, the data have checkup, name, or the last name. So after you have search by this filter, this thing will show up. And if you click on this button, it will sort by the patient ID, or if you change the place of the button, it will sort by the name and the age and the date of this. And this is what we do that in the paper base they did not do. It's about content segmentation, that how you categorize data into the categories. Since the first plot, the paper-based data, it's kind of mixed up together. Like they put up the name together with the health behavior. So that way, it's quite hard to analyze the usable information out, since everything is kind of mixed up together. So what we have to do is to segment the content into two parts. The first part is the profile, and the next part is health behavior. Since the profile is something that stays with you for quite a long time and hardly changes, and why the health behavior, it depends on how you do and how you behave yourself, and it's regarding to health more than the personal information. And the last part is about the content measurement and error prevention. About the content measurement, it's about this thing right here. For example, if you drink wine, the relevant unit would be a glass, not ban, kapong, or huat. So if the units of this thing is not what the patient have selected, or is not relevant to the data, this thing would be disabled, and it shows only the unit that the patient only use. And about the error prevention is to about the disable like the text view of the invalid data. For example, if the patient does not take any greasy food or does not take any sugar, the consequence symptom will not show up since they did not take it. So this helps the error in looking at data, or the mistakes from getting the wrong information and symptom. So these are all the user interface that we have implemented so far. And if you have any question, do not hesitate to contact us by email, or have any contact via the office. Thank you very much.